2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready.
First of all, happy holidays to everybody. Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Feliz Navidad, I hope I said that correctly, and with other different holidays, because we're getting into the holiday season. But joining us is Beneath the Rose, Mr. Bora Harris. It's always a pleasure when you come in and share what's going on in the political world with us. We have some new people that run some office, so please enlighten us again like you always do. And again, welcome.
On the Oregon election results as for 2018, and this information I have is an update as of November 11, 2018. We know the election was November 6th, which ended at 8 p.m.
Okay.
So for governor, the current governor, Kate Brown, did win with 50.0%, and her opponent, Newt Bueller, came in second at 43.8%.
Okay.
And there were other candidates who also ran, and their percentages were 2.9 and less. So I won't bring up those names.
Okay.
For those two. And the legislature controlled, the supermajority is 18. So the Oregon Senate, Democrats are 18, Republicans 12.
Okay. And
the Oregon House, the supermajority is 36. Democrats end up being 38 and Republicans 22. And I'm going to cover, if you'd like for me to, a few of the Oregon ballot measures, some of the hot measures, such as 101, 102, 34.
Just touch on those a little bit, please.
Okay, Oregon, the measure 102, which allowed local bonds for affordable housing, that won by yes vote. That was the yeses was 55.9%. And the no's 44.1%. The measure 103, which prohibits taxes, and the fees on groceries and so forth, the yes was 42.6%, and the no's was 57.4%.
So the people didn't want their groceries taxed.
Yes, the prohibits the fees and groceries. They want everything to stay as it is.
Okay.
And Measure 104, which expands the application requirement for 3/5 of the legislature majority to approve bills to raise the revenue. The yeses was 34.7, and the no's 65.3%. No. Measure 105, which repeals the law which limits the use of state and local enforcement to enforce the immigration laws.
Right. That was the sanctuary city.
Sanctuary, yes, the hot topic there, one of the hot topics. The yeses was 37.3% and no's 62.7%, yes. And I'll just move on for the abortion measure 106, which focused on abortion, prohibiting public fundings for the abortion.
Okay.
So it went with the no. Majority was no. I'll just put it at that point instead of giving the percentages. And as we move on from that point, we're going to move to the city of Portland.
Okay.
Portland City Commission, position number 3. There was only one vacancy in that commission. Joanne Hardesty was the winner.
Okay. With
62.1%. And Loretta, yes. And Loretta Smith was 36.9%. Wow. And we know Loretta Smith was the Multnomah County Commissioner, and she termed out. Her second term ends as of December 31st. So Joanne won that city council position.
Okay. Now, I want to ask you a question. On that city council, is that a term limit or no term limit?
No.
As long as
city council, the Portland City Commission, it doesn't have a term limit.
So as long as that person keeps getting elected in, they can hold that office? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And how many people do we have on that city council? It's about
There are 5 right now, and
Nick Fish?
Well, Nick Fish wasn't in the runoff, wasn't
Okay.
in the
Okay.
final,
Okay.
because he won in the May election.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And then we went to Multnomah County Auditor. That was a shakeup. A lot of people did not expect it to go this way. A woman, I'm not being partial, Jennifer McQuirk won by 56.6%.
My goodness.
And
Yeah.
Scott Learn by 42.8%.
Now that auditor position, people really need to watch that, because I was educated when they was on the show, the Candidate Forum, how important it is, and they have their hands in a lot of things.
Yes.
They can tell you where the money's going, they can tell you how the money's not being spent, who it's spending for, and so people really need to pay attention to the auditors.
Yes, yes. And they also get involved in other aspects of it, such as disparity studies and things of that nature,
Yes,
too.
absolutely.
They have a huge role. Yeah. Let me say
Okay,
that.
yes.
And then right now, we look at 2 other areas. The Clean Energy Fund. I believe Joanne Hardesty was the one who came up with the Clean Energy Fund, who focused on that. So that was a yes, 64.5%, and the no's 35.5%. I'm not saying that that was her baby, but that was something that she began to implement a while back, and she was able to get it on the ballot.
On the ballot. Well, we need clean air.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And then Portland Measures, the last measure that I'll talk about, Portland Measure 26200, which limits candidate contributions. And yes, so, you know, to make it fair across the board. So the yes percent was 87.5%, you know, yes, saying yes to limit those contributions.
So we're saying to the people that a candidate can only receive so much money from one particular, how does it?
Yes, yes, from one particular. Whereas in the past, you know, if you're running for an office and so forth, if you know a lot of people, big monies and so forth, you can get all this big spending.
Okay.
So it sort of gives more of a fair play there.
Okay.
You know, for the haves and the have-nots.
So people get out and vote, and you can also run for office, and they done balance it out for you now. So you don't have to be a millionaire in order to run for these positions and get yourself represented.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And real quickly, would you like me to touch bases on the upcoming elections after 2018?
Oh, absolutely. And also the NAACP.
Yes.
Can you share a little bit about what's going on for the community to know that the NAACP just had new elections? And
okay,
how
since
did
you
that go?
asked me that,
Yes.
I can share that.
Okay.
I was chair of the election committee, so prior I couldn't talk about anything pretty much.
Okay.
But now, since the election was over as of yesterday, they did have the election, and Pastor Edie Mondene was re-elected as president. He was as president of the Portland branch of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Congratulations to him.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And that was, I believe that was the presidential position was the only position that had, you know, 2 people running. All the others was pretty much one, the first VP, second VP, and the treasurer and the secretary. There were not contenders, there were not opponents on those.
So people get out, you know who your presidents are, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. Get out, they're representing you. Make sure they represent you the way you want to be represented. So get out there and attend some of those meetings.
And support them and become a member.
Okay.
All right, and closing on May 2019 special election, there's only one election right now that we're aware of, I'm aware of. It's the May 2019 special election for special district board positions and local measures, but there's nothing that's major across the board. Now, there may be some other election dates may occur with local measures or special candidates. Sometimes things happen, and then that would create maybe a special election.
You come back and let us know.
Yes.
Whether people can be informed.
Yes.
Now, one question, how hard it is for a person if they want to find an office and run?
It isn't hard at all. What I always tell people is that, you know, not just the money aspect of it, getting support, is, you know, believe in yourself.
Okay.
Have a purpose, and be determined, regardless of who stands behind you or not. Believe in yourself and you move forward, and then you can accomplish what you want to accomplish.
Right. And I also want to say a special little thanks out. He's probably watching Jaden. He had so many viewers. We put him up this little clip about get out and vote, and people loved it.
Yes.
So Jalen, you're a star in your own rights. Also, let's. I want the people to be aware that 2020 is approaching.
Yes.
It's approaching. What, 11 months or 12 months away, and it'll be here. So people, please stay on the grassroots level. Keep, whether you're Democrat or Republican or Independent, get the issues to the people to represent you, because 2020 will be here.
Yes.
And if you don't like the way things are now, if you don't vote, you're casting votes for the person that you don't like. So if you want to change it, get out and vote.
That's right. You're the
And don't wait, because it's starting now.
Yes, yes, yes.
And if you don't think your vote is important, why do you think they're doing all that, what is it, gerrymandering and putting all these bridges up and blocks and suppressing votes? So it is important.
Your vote matters. It makes a big difference.
Big difference. Anything else you want to add on to that?
That's pretty much covers everything, and just, if nothing else, remember the purpose of voting and why we're all voting, regardless of who we are, from all walks of life. That's our stepping stone to the future.
Bora Harris, we need to wait. Okay. This is Straight Talk, and I have a wonderful guest with us. And we have Vanessa, who was the previous president of the Black Student Union at Park Rose High School, and she's off a journey. So I'm going to let her talk about the journey a little bit. But with her is her mentor, Dr. Audrey Terrell from the D.A.T.I. And Minister, please help me.
Qianna
Wilson.
Yes.
Joining us as well, and she's going to talk a little bit about the women at the cross. But we're going to start with this young lady and share a little bit about this journey and how you got to be going to the motherland. Please welcome Vanessa. Yeah, okay.
Africa, Uganda, Rwanda, Tanzania, and Burundi.
My goodness.
Yes, for 3 months.
My good. Okay. Walk us a little bit through how this process started. How did you get to be one of the ones to go to the motherland?
Right.
Yes.
So I've always wanted to study abroad, because being in D.A.T.I, she surrounded us with people that had studied abroad. And
Let's share a little bit about D.A.T.I so the viewing audience can know here and that's watching the show. What is D.A.T.I?
So D.A.T.I is Dr. Audrey D.A.T.Institute. It's basically Dr. Audrey. She's helping out the youth and Black students in high schools to get out and do things and be educated, make sure we're on the right path. Okay,
so you was part of this program, and you're also the president of the Black Student Union, and you went to school where? At
Park Rose.
Park Rose, and then you went to college, started going where?
PCC.
And how did you connect with, I'm trying to get us, how did you connect with going to the motherland? Because a lot of us like to go to the motherland. How did you get the chance to go there?
I was walking down my halls.
Okay.
And it's always in my mind, like, okay, I'm going to study abroad. Study abroad. So there's a wall, like, in the hallway in Terrell Hall, and it said, study abroad.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
So I picked up a flyer, and it said Carpe Mundi DM Education, and I literally applied. And I made sure I had my grades on top, and I made sure, like, I was on top of my things. And I got an interview with them.
Right.
And they accepted me to go to Africa.
Oh, my goodness. We're going to give you a double clap praise for the grades and going to the motherland. Now, they said, okay, you're going to the motherland. Because I wanted the viewers to feel that feeling, what it felt like when they accepted you and you going abroad now.
Yes, so I felt complete, because, like, a part of me, like, I'm of African descent, and I've always wanted to just go to Africa. Like, it literally is the motherland, and to be able to visit and, like, be, like, exposed to, like, Africa's culture, you know, firsthand, it's really, like, it's gonna be life changing.
Who's the first person you told when you got accepted?
Who did I tell? I think I told my grandma.
Okay.
At first, because
Yeah.
you know I live with her. I was like, I'm going to Africa.
Right.
And she's like, what? What are you talking about? I told her.
So they told you you was going to Africa. Now, what is the process? Now that they said, hey, you selected, you're going. What was the process after that to get ready to go?
Oh, okay, so we have cohort meetings like every month, like twice a month. And we have to apply for scholarships.
Okay.
We have to apply for PSU because the Carpe Mundi credits transfers to PSU. And if we didn't get into PSU, we couldn't be a part of it.
Okay.
And that goes for the grades too. And so we have all these cohort meetings. We apply for scholarships. And the next step would be like getting ready like with our jobs.
Okay.
And our grades have to stay on top.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't fail anything. Like, it's a really easy process.
Right. Now,
It's
did you
not
have to
hard.
did you have to get a passport?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's talk
Yeah.
about, because I want young people to know, and us young at hearts to know what the process is. Okay, they said, hey, you're going. Now you mentally got ready. Now, what about the paperwork? What do you have to do to start getting ready?
So I had to get my passport, which is under $100, so it wasn't as expensive as I thought.
Okay.
And the passport took about 3 weeks to get in. And then when I got my passport, I had to, and then I have to sign a form to get my shots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for like the stuff that goes into Africa, like the yellow fever and like I did like a malaria pill.
Did it hurt?
No, I haven't gotten it yet.
Okay.
But I got the papers for it. And yeah, I think the most difficult paperwork was the passport.
The passport. So now, who pays for the flying tickets? If I'm not getting in your business, but
No,
who's,
you're fine.
okay, who's paying for the air ticket and hotels and what's that package all about?
So altogether, the trip is like $13,000.
Oh my goodness!
But Carpe Mundi pays for about half of it.
Wow.
So then $8,000 is left for me.
Okay.
And then the FAFSA that covers it, my Pell Grant, and the scholarships I already have, covers up like $5,000. And then I have an extra scholarship that's about $1,000. So, like for me personally, I have to pay $2,000 out of pocket. That's like the remaining. But other than that, that's who's.
So, once you're there, who you stay with, or how's that set up?
So in Africa.
Okay. We're in the motherland now. She said in Africa.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have a family.
Okay.
Like how exchange students come here and have families.
Yes.
So I'm gonna have family in Africa. They're gonna speak Swahili.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm gonna learn Swahili when I'm out there, and I don't know how to swim yet, but I will learn because we're going scuba diving.
Say a Habaragani. How are you?
How are you?
Yes.
Habaragani.
Habaragani. Yeah.
Like, see, I need Rosetta Stone.
So you got a family that you're going to be staying with, and what they go. How does that happen? What's working there? We trying to get into following this journey with you.
Yes, I don't know the family yet, personally,
Mm-hmm.
but the family is like good enough for us to for them to get accepted through Carpe Mundi.
Right.
So I'm not really worried about that.
Now, do they get a chance to come here? The family that you're staying with, like if there's a young man or young lady in the family?
No, they haven't came here. I don't think they will. I'll probably meet them through like Skype or something before I go.
Okay, excellent. So you got the family, and then what are you going to be doing while you're there?
So they want to keep most of it secret because it wants to be a surprise for us. But I do know for sure. Hiking in Rwanda.
Oh my goodness.
And when I meet my Rwanda family, I really want to talk to like them about the genocide that happened about 20 years ago.
Right.
That's what I'm most excited for.
Okay. And you're going to be there 3 months?
3 months.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, Vanessa is going to be traveling to the motherland, and she already talked about she has a GoFundMe page, so put something in there for her and be supportive of it, and you got those grades up. And you think by being part of that D.A.T.I program kind of got you ready for this big experience like that?
Yes, because I was surrounded by so many successful people that look like me.
Okay.
And that have studied abroad.
Okay.
And it really made me like more motivated in a way, like, oh, I can do it too. I'm gonna do it then.
Yes.
You know? So I did it.
Well, we're proud of you. We're so proud of you. And social media, you're going to take a lot of pictures, and when you come back, Straight Talk would love for you to come on and just share that experience with us. And next to you still is D.A.T.I. Dr. Audrey Terrell. Welcome, Dr. Audrey.
Thank you.
Does it feel to see on your
Oh my
students?
God,
Yes.
it's rewarding. It's the bottom line
Yes.
of results of D.A.T.I.
Yes.
And I'm just so proud of her. I'm proud of her sister who got a scholarship last year. The point of D.A.T.I. is to expose youth of color to options. And I think when you expose them, it gives them a level of encouragement. Oh, I can do that. I want to go there.
Yes.
And we've been to Seattle many times. We've been to Tacoma. We produce shows here with
Yes.
you. I brought them on
Appreciate
here.
that, yes.
And that builds, you don't know how that builds their confidence.
Right.
And also step out of their boundaries. They're not dreaming far beyond being a rapper or being an athlete. That's so much more.
Right.
And just beyond her, there are other ones that are, I have one left to go back to school at the University of Kansas. She was the first awardee of D.A.T.I. 3 years ago. Now she's a Black Student Union president at University of Kansas.
What's her name?
Kavina Davis.
Kavina Davis. Let's give her
Kavina
Davis.
Davis,
clap,
and
praise,
it's just,
Yes.
and then I have Vanessa's sister is going to PCC also. She got a Volunteers of America, gave her a large scholarship last year.
Let's give them a clap
So
praise on that. Yes. Yes.
the objective of that time
Okay.
is to expose, encourage, a little pushing, which we don't have any problems with.
Right.
And then take them. They can tell you, oh God, they've been in my truck. We've gone so many places. But that's a good thing. And that's what I'm trying to do. We just got back from Texas Southern and Prairie View A&M.
Share a little bit about
I took
what's going on
16
down there.
kids
Yes.
to
How many?
Texas. 16.
Oh, bless your heart.
Oh,
Yes.
teenagers,
Yes.
teenagers.
Yes.
To Texas Southern.
Kept you busy.
Oh, geez. To Prairie View A&M.
Yes.
Exposing them.
Yes.
They live here in Portland area, and they went to Houston, Texas, and to Prairie A&M, and that's different.
Yes.
That's different. And they sit and they looked. And they observe. These are possibilities for you.
Right.
And scholarships were offered to them.
Oh, my goodness.
When you show interest in yourself, the opportunity is right there.
Right.
And that's all D.A.T.I. tries to do, is to expose them, encourage them, do what we can to push, and let them know that's love to me.
Right.
Love, and especially as a doctorate of my, and a retiree, I've got mine.
Right.
Turn around and kind of encourage some of these youth. And there's two sides. The B side is the youth, and the A side is my college youth who've gone through high school. Now they're in college. They're doing well at USC. I got one at USC, and they're just starting it. And I'm like, oh my God, we've got an invite to go to Stanford now. So it's just blooming.
Yes,
and
it
she's
sounds
just
like
a product.
Product, yes.
Vanessa is a product of the blooming, is the results of what we're trying to do to the youth of color in this Pacific Northwest, to expose them the opportunities that are sitting right there.
We're going to give you a clap praise, Dr. for what you're doing. Now, I see you have something which is that an event coming up that you want to share?
Well, this was the event that we had with the Women's Preachathon. You know, I'm a licensed minister.
Okay.
And I deal with women of faith. We've done several. The D.A.T.I, we honored the police chief.
Okay.
About a year ago, which was very
Yes.
successful.
Yes.
Vanessa and them these some extraordinary kids.
Okay.
So we had a preachathon.
Okay.
14 women preached
Oh, my goodness.
in 2 days
Yes.
about the women in the Bible. It was awesome.
They had church up in there.
Oh my
They
God.
had church up in there.
It was awesome. And it was so awesome that we're
Yes.
going to do it again.
Okay.
Minister Wilson, she was one. She comes from New
Yes.
Hope. She got on the list. She's on the program too.
Yes.
And all these from various churches, not just one church, various churches and ethnicity. Let me just
Okay.
say that were on program. It was so powerful. It was a 2-hour program. We barely got out of there in 3 hours because
my
when the
goodness.
women took the podium
Yes.
to talk about Jezebel, to talk about Sarah,
Right.
all these women in the Bible, it seemed like they exploded inside.
Okay.
And we were there listening, and so much so that on next year we're going to do it again. It's called a Women Preach-a-thon.
Well, please let us know. And you have Dr. Wilson.
Yes, she was one of the speakers.
Dr. Wilson.
She was one of the speakers, and she was awesome. These churches got some strong women in it.
Yes.
And this gave them an opportunity to speak. And I want to thank the pastors for allowing them to come and speak.
Yes.
Many churches. It had 14 different churches that allowed their women to come and speak, and they were excellent. Excellent.
Minister Wilson?
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Have you here. I'm blessed. Thank you.
It sure is a pleasure to be here.
Now, before we get started, can you please explain the difference between a minister and a pastor?
Okay. A pastor oversees
the
flock. It's the head.
Gotcha.
The ministers are beneath the pastor. They've been answered their call, so they're walking in their call. And then eventually, as they gain personal followers through their individualized ministry, they too become a pastor. So it's just the foot in the door.
In the door.
Yeah.
What did you speak about that day? If you could just share a little bit with
Mary Magdalene, her transformation from being possessed with 7 spirits, and then her turnaround, and how she was grateful, and her actions was revealed. Her gratefulness was revealed by her walk and her attachment to Christ.
Yeah. Now, how did it feel to be a part of this event?
Well,
these women ministered.
I really do
see
love.
Your smile. It was good. Huh?
Yes,
it was good.
yes. It was awesome to come in contact with other women who's just like me. You know, who love God and who have a passion to teach and nurture those that's coming, you know, beneath them, up under them, and so I really enjoyed it, and I don't take those opportunities lightly.
Right, right. So, as a young lady, what kind of led you into the ministry?
Well,
that's not too personal, but
no, it's not. I believe that I was always called to ministry. Being young, I always knew that I was different than the others. My mom always had me. I have 2 older siblings, but I was the one that was always running the house when she wasn't there. So it became like my life. And then I was under a great man of God, and he taught us everything. Nothing was dismissed. And so, and as growing up and seeing the truth in the flesh, the closest thing to Jesus that, you know, I believe that I was going to be able to see that it just impacted my life to where I want it to be just like that. I want people to know that in my service is not for me. It's ultimately for them and for the work in the kingdom. And so. Right.
Now, Dr. Terrell talked about your pastors. Who is your pastor? And we want to just give him a clap praise for.
Okay. The pastor that I was referring to was Dr. Carl C.J. Anderson. He passed.
Okay, we still give him a clap praise. Absolutely. Yes, yes. And your pastor today?
Pastor J. Walter Hills II at New Hope Missionary Baptist Church.
Got clap praise over there. So, now that you're a minister, when you go out to minister to young men and young ladies, what are some of the kind of things that you find that they really need or they're battling with?
Okay, so we have an individualized ministry outside of New Hope. Okay. It's called Seeds of Greatness Ministry. Me and my husband is the overseer. Okay. And what's his name? Damian Wilson.
Brother Damian Wilson. This good brother Damian Wilson. Clap praise. My spiritual husband. Yes.
And he was in trouble growing up. And so his ministry became the jail ministry. So what we do now, we go into the jails, visit the work release center. We go into there just conversating with the people. They need someone to hear them.
Yes.
And so a lot of times we put, as parents and authorities, we put ourselves, we press upon them instead of allowing them to grow as individuals. And so that's one of the frustrations that I see people have. They're not seen and they're rarely heard. Gotcha. And so just exposing them to people that see them and hear them, and just being an open door, you know, to allowing them to ask questions that they wouldn't generally ask, and be who, you know, they are, and then walk with them in that fashion.
Well, we certainly appreciate Minister Wilson.
Yes.
Dr. Audrey Terrell.
Yes.
Vanessa, we appreciate what you ladies are doing. However, Straight Talk can support what you're doing, please let us know. When we come back, we're going to be joined with Mr. Charles, his son Aaron, from Goldies Texas Down Home Barbecue. Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, good. Clap praise. Yes. As you can see, I'm joined with Mr. Charles from Texas. Come on, help me out.
Goldie's Texas style barbecue.
Now, see, he said better than me. Say that again.
Goldie's Texas style barbecue.
Barbecue. Yes. Well, let's get back to Texas style barbecue from Goldies. See, I got that. What you got? First of all, how did you get started with barbecuing?
Well, when we moved here from Texas about almost 40 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
We couldn't find no real good barbecues.
Yeah, he said couldn't find none.
So we decided we would do this, you know, start cooking. We was cooking at home anyway, but when people came over, they would taste the food and they'd say, oh, you could sell this, you know, and so we took them up on it and we started in a food court. We was in a food court for 4 years, and then we went in a Shell station for like 3 years, and now we've been in a full restaurant for 8 years. So, and we do catering, and we do events and fundraisers. So for the girl that's going to Africa, we can do a fundraiser for her.
Oh, Vanessa!
Yes.
Man, let's give you a clap praise on that. That's beautiful. Now, you have what you. Now, from my understanding, this is a family-owned business.
Yes, sir. All these recipes are my wife's, and we do the cooking, and she show us what to do. Yeah.
What you got going on here for
we got
us?
some mac and cheese. Some of her famous mac and cheese. It's got 7 different cheeses in that mac and cheese.
Oh my goodness! I didn't even bring my spoon, but go ahead.
And we got some beans here. Some spare ribs, some pulled pork. We got some beef brisket. Chicken breast and coleslaw and potato salad.
Now, from my understanding, you got some fish out there too. What else is on that menu? Yeah,
we got catfish, cod, and she was in a chili cook-off 2 years in a row. She won it for cooking chili, and so we got her chili and we got gumbo. She make seafood gumbo.
Got some gumbo out there?
Yep. We got shrimp, crabs, chicken, sausage, and all the vegetables that come with the gumbo. Yeah, it's real good too.
Now, Aaron, how does it feel like to be a part of this family-owned business that's going on?
It's a joy and an honor to work beside my mom and dad. And
do you work you hard?
Yeah. Yeah. No, they cut us some slack, but we definitely could work a little harder for them because they do a lot for us, and it's just it's a real joy and a real blessing to be able to work with our family, and we've just been blessed, and we try to put God first in all we do, and without Him, none of this would be possible, and I just give all glory to Him. But like you said, we got the pulled pork and the brisket here. If you can see the brisket, it's got a nice little smoke ring on it. We smoke it for about 24 hours.
Yeah, talk us through it. Got a little smoke rib. Yeah, smoke what on it?
Smoke ring. It's the little darker part around the meat there.
Yes.
And then these pork ribs, we go for about 8 or 9 hours, and
so them joints is tender.
Yeah, we got like a dry rub. It's got about nine or 10 different spices we put in the rub and rub it on there before we throw it on the pit. And we use briquettes and hickory and mesquite wood chips. So it's all natural stuff that we use, no gas, and it comes out pretty good. I mean, he got it down, man. It's we started in a trailer, like he said, and for the family we just did like chicken and ribs. We never really did the brisket and pulled pork. So when we started doing that, it was kind of trial and error. We burnt up quite a bit of meat at the beginning, but we got it down by the grace of God, man. It comes out nice and just the knife slice right through it, and the people love it, man.
Now, you just said 7?
7 different cheeses, yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's cheesy cheesy.
Yeah.
Macaroni got to have cheese.
Right. Now, where are you located?
We're at 157th and 4th Plain over in Vancouver, and our phone number is 360-253-2836.
You got a website? Pop it on out there. We'll put it up too, but you got a website people can go to?
Goldies BBQ.
BBQ.
Yeah.
Texas style.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
It took me a while to get it, but I like it. Texas style.
That's it. And we got a Facebook page too.
Okay.
And,
okay.
You know, we got a 4.6 rating out of 5 on the.
Well, let's give you a clap praise on that. Yes. Now, from my understanding, you help the veterans out there. Let's talk a little bit about what you do with the veterans.
Yeah.
And honestly, we're going to get to this real quick. I ain't going to make it too much long. We're going to get to it. Okay.
We give them a discount and 15% discount if they come in and order food. And like for Veterans Day, we give them free lunches.
Oh, my goodness.
Police officers, we support the local police too.
Absolutely.
And, and we do a lot of stuff for the community, like fundraisers for the schools and, different organizations, churches.
Right.
All kind of.
Now you go over and take some food to some veterans too, don't you?
Oh yeah. And,
yes.
The teachers, when they had to strike over there, we took them lunch.
Right.
Took some of the teachers' lunches while they was out on the picket line.
Yeah, they had them crying out there.
It was good to them, though, huh?
Yeah.
So get the address out again, and then we're gonna go out here and let the viewing artists not the viewing artists, but audience here taste some of this food too. Yeah. But what's the address again?
It's 157th and 4th Plain, and our phone number is 360-253-2836.
And we want to plug in Miss Goldie?
Oh, yeah.
I'll make sure you're all right when you go home.
Yeah, she's the genius behind all this.
Yes.
All these recipes.
Yeah, she got some good desserts too. Some pecan pie and peach cobbler and sweet potato pie that she makes there too.
There it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, Charles Goldie, Aaron Golden from Golden's Barbecue, Texas style.